Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 Black Ice with me, Alpha Pi Omega and German Reich. So in the previous episode we have annexed, or stole the Sudetenland, which gave us 4 extra factories, and I actually didn't check if that is considered, nope, it's not an occupied territory. I guess because the game recognizes that there was a large German-speaking minority in these territories. By the way, interesting fact, these people came here in the very early Middle Ages, invited by the Czech kings, so that the border between the German-speaking parts of the Holy Roman Empire and the Bohemian Kingdom were settled. There was a large amount of empty space there. But yeah, it's not considered an empty occupied territory. It is in fact recognized as part of our territory. And wait, did we get also this one? Oh yeah, we did get also Eastern Sudetenland, which gave us 4 military factories. I didn't notice that. Okay, so we got Eastern Sudetenland, we got Sudetenland, and South Sudetenland. Cool. And in this episode, we're just going to continue doing what we did before. We need to deal with the equipment shortages so that we can start recruitment and full. Recon equipment, as we said, was a problem, 200 days. Transport trucks are getting better though, 185 days. And the other thing that, the heavy artillery, that was 120 days. And horse transports, of course, 88 days. But horse transports are fine compared to trucks and heavy artillery, so we'll need to put more factories on those, but I believe that they're actually doing fine at this point, as we keep putting more and more on that. So there's still a 10% increase gonna come here, which means more than 1 truck per day extra. And as far as the heavy artillery goes, there's also going to be an increase of about quarter of artillery, so we're going to be somewhere at around 1.3 heavy artillery pieces per day, which means that we will be fine at the time of invasion of Poland, but I'd like to get it better. Now this is barring the fact that we're going to get things from Bohemia when we occupy them. There's at least, as the game claims, 12 factories that are military. We're going to get about 30% of that, so let's go with 4 factories. We're also building pretty rapidly at this point, so at least 4 more factories gonna come to the end of the year. At which point then, however, we'll need to start working on the different things. Now, I made the decision that we are going to build 1 rubber storage. We're gonna share 1 rubber storage and 2 synthetic rubber refineries, so that we can get a bit of rubber production and a bit of rubber storage. We're going to import it until the war breaks out, so we'll fill it, hopefully. We'll have to start building the radars, recover most of the western areas of our country and the coast of Baltic Sea, so that we have bonuses against any air raids. And then we are going to get the... we're not going to do that now, but before the war we are going to go through these flak defenses, which are going to greatly boost our anti-air, which is the reason why I'm taking that anti-air technology. What are you? Oh yeah, we recruited you. Cool. So that's why I'm working on that as well. And with the amount of points that we are producing, I think it's over 1 per day. Yeah, 1.17 per day, and it's gonna increase further to maybe even 1.5 per day, which is great. We still have a bit of air capacity, 60. So I could add an additional factory here, and you have 24, or we could add 1 to the bombers here. But yeah, our actual Air Force initiative is doing good. Actually, we can only add about 1 until so I'll have to make a decision where to add that if we want it. It might make sense to add it to the Corsar support so we get more of those, but who knows. Anyway, right now we're working on the SS Junkerschule Klagenfurt, and we are participating in the attack on the encircled Spanish divisions here while we're defending this area. So let's see how that's gonna go. Yeah, the elimination here is well on the way, and we are defending here pretty nicely. So we were instrumental in a massive breakthrough over there. Now I really want to start forming some of these new units that we want, but I'm not sure how well equipped we are. For example, if we wanted to form the Alpenjägers, the game is not gonna allow me to do that. But most of it's pack artillery and some support things. So how are we doing on the pack artillery? Mounting up to 215 pieces. Yeah, I think we could do that. Do we have the Marines equipped? I don't think we do, but mostly they should be suffering from the fact that they don't have enough amphibious equipment. And they're getting better one now with, yeah, a second one being produced. Okay, they got all that they can get for the amphibious attack. So that makes me happy, though I don't see where the amphibious is actually. This is not a fort. And this is not an Arctic terrain. The game is a bit confused about that. But we can see it at the recruitment page. Nanjing has fallen. Oh wow, what is this? Reformed Government of Republic of China. You are a puppet of Japan. Yeah, Imperial Protectorate. The capital of Republic of China, Nanjing, has been occupied by forces from the Empire of Japan. Despite fierce resistance from the walled city's Chinese defenders, Japanese troops managed to capture Zongshan Gate and fought their way into the city. Sporadic gunfire can still be heard. Ah, okay. Spanish Civil War is done. Raging in different parts of the city, but most surviving Chinese forces have either withdrawn or been captured. Along with the capture of Shanghai, this is a significant victory for Japan in their war against China. So the Spanish Civil War is done, and our volunteers are coming back. So let's form the Gebirgsjäger divisions. We'll see how it's gonna fare with the equipment. The first Gebirgsjäger division was an elite formation of the German Wehrmacht during World War II, and it is remembered for its involvement in multiple large-scale war crimes. It was created on 9th April 38 in Garmisch-Partenkirchen. It's where the Olympics game were, from the Mountain Brigade, German Gebirgsbrigade, which was itself formed on 1st June 1945. The division consisted mainly of Bavarian and some Austrian units. Okay, so delete Gebirgsjäger Brigade template and disband all units created from this template and form... Oh, okay, so that actually means that... did we lose it? No, we didn't lose it. We were supposed to lose this one. But instead we got another unit. Which is even better, holy hell. Okay, so... Thank God I haven't invested into that, but... yeah, you guys are amazing. Gebirgs division. Compared to the Alpenjäger, you are way better. Got reconnaissance... Mountain Support Company, nice. And the artillery. I don't know why I have motorized artillery, but okay, fine. That's just more trucks for us. Yugoslavia claims Bulgaria. Citing the foundation of their nation as Union of South Slav people, Yugoslav rhetoric has recently increasingly argued for the Bulgarian people's membership of this union. Now this propaganda has taken a drastic new turn as Yugoslavia has outright staked their claim to the Bulgarian region. As both nations ready their forces, war may erupt at any moment. And the end of the Spanish Civil War. If the surrender of the last Republican stronghold, the Spanish Civil War has come to an end. The nationalists stand victorious, and a new era has begun for Spain. The war-torn country has suffered greatly in the fighting, and there is much rebuilding to be done. And we finish the Junkerschule Klagenfurt. With the expansion of the Waffen-SS, it has come time to create additional Junker schools to train members. Additional schools were founded in Klagenfurt and Posen Treschow in 1943 and Prague in 1944. So we get a bonus to land doctrine. And here's the Junkerschule. So let me just take a sip of my tea. In 1946, Himmler selected former Lieutenant General Paul Hauser to be appointed inspector of the SSVT with the rank of Brigadier Führer. He set about transforming the SSVT into a credible military force that equaled the regular army and transformed the officers' selection system. The school was opened in 1946 by Adolf Hitler and would use the regular army training methods and use former army officers as instructors to train their potential officers to combat effective. So we get an extra military factory, 2 generals, and 75 political power. Cool. So where did that factory go? I don't know. It's probably to the assault equipment, because I think we had 2 extra factories supposed to be added to that. So what's next? We got the Junkerschule. Okay, Volkswagen comes next. So that's going to give us 3 vehicle factories, making the construction of trucks, armored cars, heavy trucks, and I think even the horse transports faster. But I am not entirely sure. Let me see the vehicle factory. Motorcycles, cars, light vehicles, trucks, half-tracks, tractors, and prime movers. And okay, so not the horse transports, but we should see a huge difference as far as the trucks are considered. So we need to check that. Now it's 8.46. Let's check it before we get that done in 28 days. So no more fighting here, but I think it might be feasible for us to deploy another Khazar support, wouldn't it? Do we have enough? Actually, we don't. We started producing them only recently. So what about fighters? Still don't have anything on here. I think fighters... No, we don't have enough. Damn, I thought I had to deploy it recently. And I mean really recently. And with the breaks in the recording, it's sometimes... Yeah, we're training here. So, let's see what the state of our fighters is. France and Britain announces alliance. Calling upon the bonds forged during the Great War, France has requested a formal alliance with Britain, citing unspecified threats against the stability of Europe. Today, their request was approved by the British Parliament and France has joined the Allies. And trade mission, we got better relations with Iran. Okay. So the first one is now fully upgraded. So we have BF-109Cs and Ds here. The second one still has 31 Heinkels. The fourth one... No, the third one has... only Heinkels? Yeah, only Heinkels. The fourth one has 40 Heinkels and 50 BFs. Okay, the fifth one has 99 BFs. And the last one has already 14 BFs. So we're doing actually pretty good. What's the comparison between, for example, you and you? You have full, so that's 19.5 attack. No, that's air defense, 19.5 and air attack 14. We got 22 and 16.7. So, you know, even these points are still useful. One would say that they wouldn't be, but Black Ice makes sure that every fighter that you have is actually really useful. I'm not saying that I wouldn't, retire them if I could, but I can't. So that's that. Simple as that. Okay, additional factor coming, and what about? Yep, we got another Zerstörer. So let's add it to the mix, and Z9 can actually be assigned to the main battlefield. And how are we doing on the production of the ships? Because I know there was just a couple. Yeah, we got 4 left. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we're going to upgrade the F10 classes. It's gonna take a while though. 28th of December, so at least a month, and so 2 months, 3 months, but then these ones are gonna come. Charcoal engines. Oh yes, charcoal me baby. We need more of fuel reductions. Okay, so that is done. Now, there is a technology here that is called coal liquefaction, which will give us for every steel mill that we have, it's gonna give us 12 fuel and reduce the output of the steel mill by 2. Now that sounds great, but we only got 3 of those. So yeah, that's basically 36 fuel, and I'm not really interested in that. So working on construction, we're working on dispersed industry. We're not working on the improved worker safety, but I don't think that's necessary at this point. I think that excavation might be a good thing for us right now, because we do have some production. So until now it wasn't really that important, but I think we ought to go with it. Let me check the electric tree. Yeah, we're gonna have to get the truck radios and the recon radios, but for now, and the asymmetric radar, but those are just flat bonuses that we can get before the war. This one is gonna benefit us immediately. So excavation 1, and we got yet another upgrade to our BF 109. So where are you? Here. So what's new with this one? With the new DB601A engine more widely available, the BF109E was installed with this new power plant, which greatly increased the plane's performance. So let's check it. Range, okay, 40 more kilometers. Wow, air attack is actually 3 points higher. 3.3 higher. Okay, so they're not kidding. Air defense by 1, agility by 0.5. Speed is increased by 65 kilometers per hour. Okay, so this is a big thing. To accompany the longer and larger engine, there was a major redesign of the airframe to help cool the engine. A few variants of the new BF-109Es became the first operational Jagdbomber, or first bomber with the ETC-500 bomb rack, carrying one 250 kilogram bomb or 4 50 kilogram bombs. Okay, amazing. Now, anything that we want to get here? We could get the medium bomber researched. Let's get instead the motor cannon, that is faster. And we are going to put you straight up immediately for production. Okay, that killed it a bit, but this is worth it. This is definitely worth it. That's a big upgrade to our Air Force. Okay, let's form the 2nd and 3rd Gebirgsjäger divisions next. And it's gonna kill us as far as limit goes. The 2nd Gebirgsjäger division was a Gebirgsjäger division of the German army which served in World War II, mainly in the northernmost sector of the Eastern Front, near the Arctic. Formed in 1948, the division was disbanded at the end of the war in 1945. Following the Anschluss, the annexation of Austria by Nazi Germany in March 1938, the 2nd Gebirgsjäger Division was formed on 1st of April 1938. With personnel of the 6th Infantry Division of the Austrian Army based at Innsbruck, part of Wehrkreis 18, Military District 18. Most of its men were from the Salzburg and Tyrol regions of Austria. And the 4th Gebirgsjäger Division. The 4th Gebirgsjäger Division was a formation of the German Wehrmacht during World War II. It was created from the Austrian Army's 5th and 7th Divisions following the Anschluss in 1938. The division took part in the invasion of Poland in 1939 as part of the Army Group South, but was transferred to garrison the West Wall before the end of the campaign. In 1940, it joined the invasion of Norway, most famously sending its 139th Mountain Regiment under General Edward Dito to seize the ice-free Arctic port of Narvik. The Allies briefly managed to take the town back, but abandoned it to the Germans after the invasion of France. Okay, so both of you are gonna join you, and you got almost all of the equipment, which means that we can compare you, and holy hell, you are so much stronger. I actually haven't checked, but is there an actual difference between a regular infantry and... Give me a second. Yeah, they're weaker. That's what I thought. They are weaker, just slightly. But they are. But they would give a bonus to fighting in the hills and mountains. And we can actually improve them via technology. So 82 days to get heavy artillery. 64 days to get horse transports. 41 days to get assault equipment. 116 to get the amphibious warfare equipment, but it's fine. Mountain, okay, it's 48. 145 days for transport trucks. 184 days for recon. And 215 days for naval bombers. Okay, so this tells me what I need to know. We need more... We need more naval bombers. And then we need more recon equipment. I'm actually thinking I'm gonna take away one of these factories from support, because we got enough of that, and we got enough motorcycles too. So it's gonna take care of the recon equipment. We're gonna be closing on more factories here soon. So I think I might just add 3 more factories to the tanks and then schedule the construction of... We're not researching Panzers III, are we? No, we're not. So can we get a Panzer III? You could get a Panzer III-E. Okay, so let's get it and start producing them. What is the difference? So you're way more expensive, but your breakthrough should be... Yeah, your breakthrough is much better. Soft attack and hard attack 12 and 7. Yeah, you are way better, and armor is 17. Okay, so this will be our first medium tank. It's not very ahistorical. Germany didn't use almost any freeze and force in the war until its invasion of France, but it's better to start at those when we can. Seems like it's looking good here. Okay, we're almost done with the Volkswagen. So now the production is 8.71 per day. So let's go with 8.8. Gonna monitor 8 for the next coming day. 8.72. It's gonna get to like 8.74 before we get this focus. Yeah, I'd really like to form you, but I can't. Okay, so we established Volkswagen. No description. Cool. So now we can get the Office of Armament and Defense, which is gonna give us an artillery factory and small arms and equipment factory. I'm getting this one as a prerequisite for underground factories, which is really good. But for that one we need a dispersed industry 4, which I don't think we can get very soon. We're working on 3. 4 is gonna come around 1940. Yeah, but then it's gonna be just flat out 4 extra factories, which is pretty decent. So let's get it. And let's check what the difference is. 8.74, so I don't think it's calculating it yet. So we need an additional day. Okay, so the recalculation is done. No, 8.70 still? Okay, I think it says that in here that it takes like a week before they... Yeah, it takes up to 1 week to activate, so let's check its vital later. Okay, now we could form the 4th Panzer Division and the Leichte divisions. So do we have enough tanks in reserve? I know that we do have... Yeah, we have 218 of them in reserve, so let's form the 4th Panzer Division. Forming the 4th Panzer Division. The 4th Panzer Division was formed in Würzburg, Bavaria on 10th of November 1948 as the first of a second wave of new armored divisions in Germany, following the creation of the original 3 tank divisions in 1935. Alongside the 4th Panzer Division, the 5th was formed at Opon, now Opola in Poland. 5 days later, Würzburg had previously been the garrison town of the 2nd Panzer Division, which had moved its headquarters to Vienna after the Anschluss of Austria in March 1938. Okay, that is fine. So let's form them, and we finished the improved airplane catapult. Still didn't kick in, it seems. And what can we do instead? Now we haven't really invested in anything that could... Well, this is coastal submarines attack. This would be good, but enter more batteries. I think we can get the naval mining efficiency. Subs and everything here are just... Order a large interwar cruiser if we actually wanted to build some. But I don't think that's gonna benefit us in Rune. Improve the diesel engine. Cruiser advanced. Yeah, the next step is to get that. We'll be building the mannequins for now, so I don't think there's much to do with that. And the armor scheme might be good, but that's not a refit worthy thing. That's just the new stuff. So unless we're gonna start designing our own ships, I don't think anything is gonna help. So either we go with this or the magnetic mines. And I think that the magnetic mines might be a good idea here. And then of course the show dice, those are really good. So let's get the magnetic mines and check the 7th Panzer Division here. Oh, you got the Kranschützen as well and some motorized. Interesting. Well, let's assign you to the 3rd Panzer Army. We now have 6 divisions there. 7th is on the way, so we are well ahead of time here. Anything that we would like to get here? 8 Persian additional, no. Region-wide, no. I'm interested in what the Leichte divisions are gonna want. Now we're short on light tanks, huh? Recon 149 days. 154 days for the trucks. Wow, 436 days. Yeah, we need to boost the... Okay, now we can see there's a difference. 9.1. Okay, that made a decent difference. But we certainly are short on a ton of things. We're still producing the cavalry equipment, huh? I think I'm gonna kill that in view of the mountain warfare equipment. So we need the cavalry, no more. Radios, that's fine. You guys are gonna be cut short soon enough. Yeah, we're producing more of the naval bombers. So those ought to be ready in time. We need to drill them though. They are going to take some time. Finish 168 days. Okay, embargo Sultanate of Muscat and Oman. Sure, why not? Okay, and the fuel consumption is getting lower and lower. So we can actually, I think, reduce the imports even further. If I could just... yeah, I could start importing from Romania. But that would require us to improve our influence, and our influence is really not bad, not good. State press, yeah. What's the status of you guys? 29.11. Are you not? Oh my god, I didn't set you to boost ideology, did I? Yeah. I've set you to destabilizing them. Jesus Christ. Okay, my bad. That didn't happen. That did not happen. But I could send one of you actually to control trade in Romania, and I could start investing in that, because that is something that we might want to do. So let's start trading with Romania instead of Venezuela. Because quite honestly, the trade with Venezuela is not going to be sustainable. Oh, you're only giving me 6 per factory, really? Huh. And we can switch the mountain artillery to the better artillery here. And that requires additional upgrades. So let's give you one of the anti-tanks, and yeah, that's about it. That's about as much as we can do here. And we have a free research slot. You are, well... okay, let's get the anti-tank upgrade. It's gonna give all light and medium anti-tank, hard attack and piercing. And getting a better anti-tank is actually a good idea as well. And then upgrade our artillery as a whole. Oh, we're bleeding out fuel now. I guess I was a bit too hasty in my switch to Romania. But, you know, not anything drastic. When are you gonna be finished? On 8th of May... for the February. Okay, so now we need to start going with the 1939 plans, which is going to be the radars first and the rubber storage and refineries. The 46th Infantry Division was formed in 1938 under the command of General Major Paul von Hasse. It fought in the invasion of Poland in 1939 and the following year was engaged in the fighting in France. It remained there into 1941 and then participated in the invasion of Yugoslavia in April. During the invasion of the Soviet Union, it was attached to Army Group South and marched through the Ukraine and into the Crimea. In March 1945, the division was designated a Volksgrenadier formation. The 46th Volksgrenadier Division, with its numbers depleted, the division surrendered to the Soviets in May 1945. Okay. So you guys are now coming. Cool. So let's assign you. Which army was the one that had all of the special units? It wasn't you. It wasn't you either. Oh, here. Okay. So the 5th Infantry Army. That one is, yeah, Harris Group West. You're gonna defend the border with France while we move against our friends in Poland. Okay, Stuka has been finished. So let's get that one into production, and instead we can actually get a Luftwaffe doctrine. So let's go with the direct ground support here. It's gonna help us. And are we producing 1.61 per week? That is not great. Not gonna lie, that is not great. Are you that expensive, or is it really that just so little? No, it's just so little factories are dedicated to it. Okay, now we can switch you. decisions available. Yeah, it's gonna go as artillery and small arms. So is the trade influence with you increasing? Yeah, 88 now it's 92. So we're gonna get that soon. And you are now rising finally. Nah, I should have checked that sooner. I know that I looked at it and it didn't seem to be that much good, but nah. So we got an artillery factory and small arms and equipment factory. It's gonna help with the general production. Reichsarbeitsdienst. Oh, that's nice, but requires tons and tons of things. So at this point we are gonna move back towards the political side of the tree, because we want to finish the fate of Czechoslovakia when we can, and that is on 25th of January is the first date. But before, we're gonna get the first Vienna award, which takes 45 days. So we're gonna be done somewhere around 12th of December. So we're gonna have a small overlap. Well, we can in the meantime reassert the eastern claims, I guess. So let's go with the first Vienna award, which is the prerequisite for this. And check how our navy is doing. Really good. You guys are doing really good. Yeah, I think our general strength is increasing dramatically. We're still not at 1400 to get the better level in the army, but Air Force is now at 1845. That's amazing. Naval is at 97, so we are getting stronger steadily. Could go for the naval war games. Nobel Prizes 1948. Italy rages as Fermi receives Nobel Prize. When the 1948 Nobel Prizes were awarded at the Stockholm Concert Hall, 10th December 1948, only 2 Nobel laureates were present. Pero Buck, Literature Laureate, and Enrico Fermi, Physics Laureate. Swedish King Gustav V presented the laureates with their Nobel diplomas and medals. The Nobel Peace Prize 1948 was awarded to Office International Nansen pour les Réfugiés. Okay, it's a Nansen International Office for Refugees. The Nobel Prize in Physics was awarded to Enrico Fermi for his demonstration of the existence of the new radioactive elements produced by neutron irradiation, and for his related discovery of nuclear reactions brought about by slow neutrons. After receiving the prize in Stockholm, Fermi opted to not return to Italy. Whispers are this happened due to the new racist laws in Italy that threatened his Jewish wife, and instead continued to New York City. Apparently he applied for permanent residency there, making Italian officials fume with rage, calling Fermi a traitor. The Nobel Prize in Literature 1948 was awarded to Pero Buck for her rich and truly epic descriptions of peasant life in China, and for her biographical masterpieces. The committee withheld both the prizes for chemistry as well as physiology or medicine, staging none of the year's nominations met the criteria. Meaningless drivel. So I think we're going to end the episode here on 11th of December 1948. Let's go through our equipment screen once again. So horse transports 79 days, amazing. So around February we should be clear. Heavy artillery 55 days. Okay, so both of these are going to be cleared by February. Amphibious warfare, okay, 81 days. Now that's shortened itself dramatically. Mountain warfare, 273 days. So we're gonna have to probably throw more factories at that one. So let's put 2 more on it so that we get it under control. After which we're gonna remove it again. Trucks, 124 days. So that is April 39, but that is still okay. Light vehicles, 85 days. Recon, 119 days. Okay, recon also needs a boost. We actually boosted it significantly, but I think one more factory would do it good. And the light tanks, 56 units, which is going to take 41 days. Naval bombers, 57 units, which is going to take 142 days. So we are going to be done with the equipment of our units in Q1 of 1949, which is great news. We have several full armies. The infantry armies here, the 2nd Infantry Army. Yeah, the 5th Infantry Army as well could be considered full. 7th Infantry Army, actually. Oh, we got you here. Okay, so you can be reassigned to the 1st Infantry Army. That's good. So 1st, 2nd, and almost the 5th are full. The 3rd Panzer Army can be definitely considered full. Gebirgs Army is way ahead of what I was planning for it. 5th is nice. 7th is like a backup. 6th Motorizierta is good. We're gonna add an additional unit here soon, which will allow us to have 5 divisions there and use them on the attack to Poland effectively. And the Marines are also fine. I'm probably gonna use them in the fighting, though I'm not sure where they would be most useful. Probably in Elbing, because one of my plans is gonna be to cut through here to isolate Danzig, and the guys from Elbing could support this attack across the river, and then we could just attack Danzig using the Marine divisions. An attack. There's just a small river here, so that's gonna be fine. So cool. I'm happy with the development. We have 264 factories at this point, which is really nice. We're gonna get additional, well, at least 15 to 16, of which we would get at least 4 immediately. And wow, 22 to 37. Well, some of them are in Slovakia. But yeah, it's gonna be a big boost to our economy. And how's Poland doing? How much are they gonna give us? 22, yeah, 22 to 45 and 23. Most of them are in the west. So while Russia is gonna get about half of the civilian factories, we are gonna get most of the military production. And I was actually Soviet Union doing? Well, they are much better in civilian production. They're slightly behind in military production, but the fact that they have more civilian, more than double, is actually worrisome. And what about France? France is way behind us. Italy, way behind us. Well, the beast on the east is still a scary prospect. Well, I'll have to see how it's gonna go. Anyway, thank you very much for joining me, and I'll see you in the next episode.